Welcome back, it's Prodigy here, and today I'm doing another PC build. Yes, this is happening. This is like my fourth one this week, but I'm planning on doing like one every day probably, and doing a couple of other videos every week, like gameplays and things, because they take a lot longer to edit and render. But I did do a GTA 5 episode yesterday, but for some reason my upload speeds have been fairly slow yesterday, so I couldn't upload it, but I will have that to you guys hopefully by tomorrow. So today's build is a $2,000 build, and it's fairly expensive. It's definitely not a budget build, and it's top of the mid-range, or actually probably bottom of the high-end performance crazy enthusiast builds. But you know, it's for those of you who want really solid performance, maxing all games at 1080p and 1440p while getting 60 FPS, but also for those of you who have multi-monitor setups or running one monitor at 4K, wanting, you know, really smooth gameplay experience with most games at 4K. So starting off with the processor, I've got an Intel Core i7 4790K, clocked up to 4.4 GHz. It's one of the most popular i7s, and it's $340, and it's really good performance. I think it's quad core, but like it's, you know, it's great for every kind of process that you might be doing. You've got obviously an unlocked clock multiplier, easy overclocking, and one of the best i7s out there. Obviously i7s are for those of you who like to do a lot of editing. If you just do solid gaming, then i5s, like the top i5s, are perfectly fine, and you could save a bit of money with this build. You could probably get this down to like $1,700 if you cut it down bit by bit. But yeah, that's the i7 4790K. Now, cooling that will be the Extreme Performance Corsair H100i. Now, this is again really popular cooler. It's got the copper base plate, the 240mm rad, I think, or a 240mm radiator. A lot of surface area for great cooling. It comes with two SP120Ls, as you can see there, and it just looks amazing. It lights up. You know, it's great for cooling, obviously, and if you're really overclocking that CPU, this is going to keep that with really low temperatures. And yeah, it's really easy installation. Loads of YouTube videos on these, so you can watch some reviews, and it's only $100. So for the motherboard, we went for one of the most high-end motherboards you can get right now. It's the Asus Sabertooth Z87 LGA1150 motherboard. Now, this isn't the best. You can actually, if you want to like fork out a little bit more money, you can go for like Asus Maximus motherboards if you want to go for like a red build, or you know, like X99, but like you wouldn't be able to put the i7 that I chose in an X99 build. But you know, I mean, this is just monstrous. I mean, look it's got the stealth shield, thermal armor. It looks amazing. Loads of space, obviously quad channel memory, up to 32 gigabytes, which might be surprising because a lot of these motherboards should support, you know, 64 gigs, but 32 gigs perfectly fine. And yeah, really good. Now the I'll have a look. Yeah, so quad GPU SLI technology and AMD quad GPU Crossfire X technology, which will help us out in this build, and you'll see why next. But like I said, great motherboard. $150 or $114 in rebates, but I don't include rebates in the overall price, so $2,000 non-including rebates. And yeah, really cool motherboard. Now for the RAM, Corsair Dominator Platinum. Comes to no surprise, probably the most high-end memory. It's got a white LED under this plate here. It's 2,400 megahertz. I got the DDR3 version. You can go for DDR4, but it's considerably more expensive, and you really don't need DDR4, even for editors. But 2,400 megahertz, really fast, really good looking. Obviously, super premium, very heavy. If you felt these before, it's got a C11 timing, and it's a 16 gigabyte kit. You can go for 32 gigabytes if you cut your budget somewhere else, like in the processor or in the motherboard. But you know, I picked 16 gigabytes because for anyone, even for heavy editors and renderers, you will be fine with this 16 gigabyte kit. Now for the big deal, for the thing that's going to be running all your games at 4K and 1440p, I've got two AMD R9 390s. Yes, two of these And I keep saying 2 because that's just phenomenal, because these are the brand new cards. These are the Nitro, Sapphire Nitro versions, but you can choose whichever ones you want. $330, so altogether $660. For $660 you can get a GT, definitely you can get a GTX 980. You might be able to get a GTX 980 Ti, I'm gonna have to double check that, but I'm saying these two of these cards, 8GB, that means 16GB but 8GB effective memory, just amazing. This will kill all your games, this will rip through all the games. You could like max out GTA 5 at 1080p and 1440p and get well over 60 FPS. This is just an amazing graphics card combination, and it's going to look really nice in your build as well, having 2 graphics cards. Unfortunately, AMD cards obviously have really high power outputs, and this is one of their most high-end cards, and has a super high power output. Like each of them have like 400 watt or 350 or something. Each card has that wattage, so I've got a good power supply, but still bear in mind that this does have a high power output, high heat output, so you'll have to have really good cooling in the case and things like that. Just bear that in mind. If you don't want these, I do recommend getting a single GTX 980 Ti or GTX 980 or dual GTX 970s. Will perform very similar to this, but I thought since this came out this week, you know, and it's got 8 gigs of GDDR5, probably really it'll just be really nice in the build. So that's that. Now for the hard drive, I went for the Seagate 3TB HDD. It's a 3.5 inch drive. It's, you know, one of the Seagate's newest drives, and it's 3 TB because if you do a lot of gaming and a lot of editing and, you know, rendering, you'll save a lot of files on this. And you can obviously go for a smaller one or a bigger one depending on your preference, but I think 3 TB is perfectly fine. And you can even go for a hybrid drive for more reliable performance and things, but I think this is perfectly fine for your general use. And yeah, simple hard drive. There's also a Western Digital version of this, but it's about $20 more, so I don't think that's, you know, necessary. But for the SSD, I went for the Kingston Digital 240 gigs 2.5 inch SSD. Again, gets the job done, really good performance, obviously no moving parts, so really reliable. The 240 gigs, you can, again, go higher, but like 480 is quite expensive, and 120, that would just about store like a couple of your favourite games and the OS. That's why I went for 240 gigs. You know, you could store quite a few games on there, your OS and like Photoshop and After Effects if you need that on there. If you want it to boot up really fast, and you know, have all your important stuff on these 240 gig SSD. Now for the power supply, I had to go for something pretty expensive because, you know, the 2 graphics cards that I've got in here really require a lot of high power. So I went for the Corsair RM1000. This is probably one of the best they do. They've got the HX series and the AX series, which are slightly more expensive, but you know, you won't need them. This is perfect for this build. You know, it works with Intel, Haswell and Z87 motherboards like the one I've got here. And you know, it's fully modular, as you can see everything on this side here, and it's just really nice power supply. It's fairly expensive, $160. But if you don't go for the graphics card setup that I've gone for, by all means go for a cheaper power supply. It's like an RM850, and then have like 2 GTX 970s in there or something, which I might do in another build. Who knows? But so that's the power supply. Now, lastly, for the case, it's one of my favourite cases, one of the most expensive cases, and it's the Corsair 760T full tower windowed case. Now, I've gone for the white one. You can also go for the red and black, but I do like the white. In my opinion, it looks really nice. It comes with two LED fans at the front and 1 rear exhaust fan, so you'll have some decent cooling there. I would recommend getting a few more fans in there. There's plenty of space with that massive window. It looks amazing. You can have those 2 graphics cards and the Sabertooth motherboard and everything. Like if you get LED strips in there, it's gonna look amazing. So it's just gonna look really, really good, and it's obviously a performance grade case, enthusiast case grade case, obviously, judging by the price of $180. But like I said, you know, you could shave quite a lot of money off this build and go all the way down to $1,800 if you just get a cheaper case, cheaper motherboards, or like a cheaper processor. But this is the build, guys. This is a really, really nice build in my opinion. I will be doing another expensive build soon, even maybe today, for you guys. And if we have a look in the cart here, that's everything. So just to sum it up, we've got the Intel Core i7-4790K, the Asus Sabertooth Z87, 16 gigs of Corsair Dominator Platinum, the H100i, two R9 390s, 8 gigabytes. They are brand new, amazing, and an RM 1000 watt power supply. So that's everything, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As usual, if you did, please do leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.